In this video, we're going to take an overview look of GarageBand, breaking up the interface and focusing on the bottom half. Alright, so now that we've taken a look at GarageBand's timecode and tempos within the LCD, let's go ahead and focus in on this little guy, which is the loop button. Now the loop button turns on cycle regions. What we can do with loops is we can play certain regions over and over again. I'm going to go ahead and click on the loop button, and as you can see it highlights to a blue color, and as you can notice up above here on the timeline ruler, which I will get into details about that a little bit later as well, it gives us a yellow ruler. Now this highlights the region that we want to create loops for. So as you can see, GarageBand has automatically highlighted the intro part for this song that we have open already. And how loops work is, at the beginning of the yellow ruler is the beginning of the loop. So once the playhead has reached the end of the yellow ruler, it's going to instantaneously and seamlessly jump to the beginning of the ruler. Now this is very efficient if you want to create loops to create and write really fast. If you have a let's say for example a drum part set up already, and all you have to do is really lay out 1 or 2 measures of that drum pattern that you have set up, and it will loop within itself instantaneously. That way you don't have to map out a whole drum pattern for a good 3-4 minutes or even 10 minutes if you just want to sit there and create and write for an hour or 2. You can just easily set up a loop region for 1 to 2 measures. And let's go ahead and show you an example. You can easily as well as edit the loop region by just grabbing, click and drag the ends, and you can place the loop region by clicking and dragging the middle. So I'm gonna go ahead and skip the intro because the intro is it's not a good place to cycle regions, but I'm gonna move it over to verse 1, and all I did was click and drag in the middle, and I'm gonna go ahead and shorten the region just so I can show you an example. And I'm gonna click and drag the end of it and shorten it to 2 measures, to measure 5 and measure 6. Now once I go down here to hit the play button, it's going to instantaneously start right at measure 5. So let's go ahead and play that. See how it jumped instantaneously. So as you can see, that's a really efficient and useful tool if we want to just sit here and jam out or go over solo ideas or whatever the case may be. Loop regions can be very effective. I'm going to go ahead and stop this. Now just to the right of the loop button we have the metronome button, which gives the song its beat. It's a computerized tempo, if you will. It follows the tempo. So whatever tempo you have selected, such as the default right now is 120, the metronome is going to click 120 beats per minute. Let's go ahead and, well, let me take off the loop first. Let's go ahead and play this so we can listen to the metronome. Now, as for reference right now, I'm gonna go ahead and just mute all of these tracks. Just so we can hear the metronome. That is the metronome all on its own. And I'm just going to go ahead and view the time. That way we know we're going. And just to the right of the metronome, we have the master volume slider, which is pretty self-explanatory within itself. Is if we want it to be louder, we just click and slide it. right to the right goes louder, and simply to the left gets softer. And that pretty much sums up the bottom half of GarageBand's interface.